A long time before Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson became an NFL star, you would never have thought he would be in a conversation about the catch of the decade. Going by his immense achievements so far in the NFL, this might be a little difficult to believe, but did you know his chances of making it to the top as a wide receiver looked slim when he was in high school? As a student at Destrehan High School in Destrehan, Louisiana, Jefferson was considered a 3-star prospect. He had an average chance at making the NFL, and coming out of high school, he wasn't even on the list of the top 300 wide receivers in the country. If this is anything to go by, he clearly didn't have the best of starts as a wide receiver. Interestingly, his journey as an NFL star has been very different. He has the best start of a wide receiver in the NFL ever. So how did Jefferson go from a guy who not many people initially gave a chance to becoming the face of the Vikings? This is the truth about Justin Jefferson. Born on June 16, 1999, a year after Randy Moss became a Minnesota Vikings star, Jefferson is making lots of NFL fans question the belief that the best wide receiver ever to fly the colors of the Vikings is Randy Moss. This is because Jefferson seems to be on a crusade to break all the records set by Moss, and he seems to be doing this with a lot of ease. But his journey as a wide receiver hasn't been an easy one. As a matter of fact, lots of people would give up if they went through the process he did. After high school, Jefferson didn't need to go far to attend college. Since Louisiana State University was somewhat in his neighborhood, that was where he committed to play football. Looking back at how far Justin Jefferson has gone in his career, lots of folks still wonder if he was the same person that played football in his freshman year at Louisiana State University. Although Jefferson went on to set some records as a wide receiver for the LSU Tigers, his first year in college was a disaster, so far as his football career is concerned. In 2017, he only played in 2 games the entire football season, and worse was the fact that he didn't have a single catch. Lots of folks perhaps wrote him off, but he changed the narrative in his second year. Jefferson went from not recording a single catch in his freshman year to having 54 catches for 875 yards and 6 touchdowns in his sophomore year. He was the leading receiver in college football that year and showed glimpses of what he could achieve as a wideout. In the 2019 season, the LSU Tigers went undefeated. They made it to the college football playoffs. Although the Tigers were amazing, Jefferson's game was on a whole different level by this time. In his second game of the 2019 season, he recorded 9 receptions for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Tigers beat Texas 45-38. As beautiful as scoring 3 touchdowns in one game was, it wasn't the best of his season. In a game against the Oklahoma Sooners at the Peach Bowl, Jefferson recorded 14 receptions for 227 yards and 4 touchdowns. Interestingly, he scored all 4 touchdowns in the first half of this game, and this set a record that is yet to be broken in college football. At the end of his junior season, Jefferson had recorded 1,540 receiving yards and was top 3 in the country in the category. Additionally, the 18 touchdowns he recorded put him at number 2 on the list of players with the most touchdowns in the nation, number 2 only to his brother and best friend Jamar Chase on the other side of the field with 20 touchdowns. After 3 seasons with the LSU Tigers, Jefferson decided to forego his senior season and enter the 2020 NFL Draft. Justin Jefferson was selected by the Minnesota Vikings in the first round with the 22nd overall pick. He was the 5th receiver taken. Upon arriving with the team, Jefferson wasn't activated immediately. He had to sit on the C-19 reserve list for a while. He made his debut in Week 1 against the Green Bay Packers, but didn't have his first NFL start until Week 3 against the Tennessee Titans. Jefferson ended his rookie season with 88 receptions for 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns. His stats were great and put him in the conversation of one of the best wide receivers the Vikings have had in decades quite early on. As a matter of fact, Vikings fans had to choose between him and Randy Moss, who became a Viking a year before Jefferson was born. In Moss's debut season, he scored 17 touchdowns and led the league. However, with everything else in view, Jefferson would soon supersede him. Jefferson had a great rookie season, but he was really just getting started. He took things to a whole new level in his second year. The 2021 season saw him record more than 100 receptions and 1,616 yards. In Week 11 of the 2021 season, after recording 8 receptions for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns, Jefferson was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He didn't stop there. In the month of November, he was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. He had already achieved a lot, but still had a lot of gas in his tank. By week 16, Jefferson had surpassed OBJ as the player with the most receiving yards in his first 2 NFL seasons. Although Jefferson was making waves, he wasn't really getting the attention of the league because the Vikings weren't doing so well. The Vikings finished 7-9 in the 2020 season and 8-9 in the 2021 season. Nonetheless, he was named to the Pro Bowl both years. With this, he joined Sammy White and Randy Moss as the only Viking wide receivers to make the Pro Bowl in their first 2 seasons. 2022 was the year Jefferson and the Vikings made it to the playoffs. They had a great start to the season. By week 8, were 7-1. Everything was going fine until they faced the Buffalo Bills in week 10. Although Jefferson was having a great game, we can't really say the same about the Vikings, as things were actually going the way of the Bills. As a matter of fact, the Bills were leading 27-23 and would have won this game if Jefferson hadn't come up with a spectacular catch. With just 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, the Bills were still leading, and it seemed like the game was over, until Jefferson connected with a 32-yard pass from quarterback Kirk Cousins. He fought Bills cornerback Cam Lewis and used one hand for the catch. The defender had the freedom of using 2 hands. Nonetheless, Jefferson's athleticism and strength allowed him to pull it in, twisting in the air, maintaining possession of the ball while falling. This play, which was the NFL Play of the Year, sent the game into overtime, with the Vikings coming out on top, winning 33-30. Justin Jefferson led the league with 128 receptions for an outstanding 1,809 yards and 9 touchdowns this season. These stats helped him win the Offensive Player of the Year award and made him the youngest player to lead the NFL in receptions and receiving yards. That's not all, he came close to winning the league MVP award. Unlike his first 3 seasons, which were injury-free, Jefferson got injured in the 2023 season. He suffered a hamstring injury in a Week 5 game against the Kansas City Chiefs and missed 7 games. Regardless of this injury, Jefferson still managed to record over 1,000 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. The next season, he signed the biggest non-quarterback contract in the NFL, a 4-year contract worth $140 million. Justin Jefferson is signed to the Vikings till 2028. He has been in the NFL for a short time now, but it doesn't seem so. He has set the league on fire and could go down in history as the best wide receiver of all time if he keeps moving at this pace. If you had a blast watching this, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest crazy content. Drop a comment below and let us know which moment blew your mind the most. Catch you on the next one.